Hello, beautiful people. Kimberly here for Inspired Thoughts. A couple minutes late. I just hiked back from the convention center to my hotel, my fancy hotel room here. La-ta-da-ta-da. Um, Not so fancy. But I am at the Idea World convention here in Anaheim, California, and had a session this morning with the most lovely bunch of human beings. We got to practice some yoga over in one of the convention halls, and it was a lot of fun. So I hiked back over to my hotel so that I could jump on here with you. So welcome to Inspired Thoughts. The internet has been a little sketchy, so if I freeze, or hopefully it's like with a cool pose or something, I don't know. But we'll do our best, because I do have some thoughts for you this morning. I talked about it actually a little bit at the end of the yoga session that I led, and it really is about recognizing the freedom that we have every day to choose what we focus on, to choose how we see it, and the thoughts. We get to choose our thoughts, and I can, in this moment, I can choose to look around me and probably find something to complain about. In this hotel room, it's a very loud air conditioner. It's one of those little window units. I might even go turn it off, and well, that's annoying. So I could just focus on that and be annoyed by it. Or every time I turn on the light in the bathroom, there's this loud squeaking noise in the fan. Could complain about that, I suppose. So in every moment of the day that you're experiencing, you can by all means look around, and obviously there can be heavier things and things that are more challenging to contend with, but you still get to choose. You get to choose if you're going to focus on something that's going to bring you down or something that's going to lift you up. So just like I could look around and kind of complain about the noisy air conditioner or the fan not working and squeaking, I can also look at the fact that I get to be here and say hello to you on this Thursday morning. I can be thankful that I was able to find a Starbucks this morning. That's huge. That is huge. In that Starbucks, I could have been frustrated because it was a really long line, or I could just be thankful that it was there, So it's just interesting, and I would just really encourage you. So the invitation today, I always like to throw out an invitation for you. The invitation today is to recognize, to realize that as you're moving through your day, and sometimes this is, I know, easier said than done, because life is full and our days are busy, and often we're just moving so quickly. But I really want to encourage you to slow down at least enough to be able to look around and recognize the fact that you are making choices all day long. It's just that often we make them unconsciously. And next thing you know, we're, in a bad mood, and we don't even really know why. And it's because we chose to give something our focus, which means we're giving it our energy, we're giving it our power, that's kind of dragging us down. And you can always choose differently. And here's the other beautiful thing, is you can always choose again. Meaning, even if, so I start out every morning with meditation. And so if you're trying to get in my head at any point, it's probably a safe place, I think, a safe place to be. I don't know, maybe not. But I remember when I first started trying to kind of meditate in the morning, I'd come out of it feeling so good. And then it was a matter of minutes before something, like I would check my email, or, something would be said or something would happen that would, throw me off. And it was like, boom, I'm down for the count, meditation out the window. And what happened is that, just the more I've stayed consistent with this perspective and my daily practice of just honoring myself and a bit of time to tune in, I'm able to get further and further through the day. And then in the day when things happen that might be considered frustrating, irritating, even painful, you're able to move through it with more ease. And so the invitation is to look around and see what you have to appreciate versus what there is to complain about. And this morning, as I was going in to teach the yoga class, I went into the wrong convention room. And pretty funny, because I got all set up. I was like rock and roll level proud of myself because I was early. And I went in and I had music playing and had like just the environment just as I wanted it. And I'm looking at my watch and there's no one there. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's an early class and maybe people are just making their way. And I decided I'd run to the restroom and went to the restroom, came back, went into that room. There's still no one there. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then I kind of came to the door and I looked across the hall and there were a bunch of people lined up for the room across the hall. And turns out that was the room I was supposed to be in. So in that moment, this is a perfect example. In that moment, I had a choice. I could get frustrated. I could be mad at myself because I goofed up. I made a mistake. I went to the wrong place. And now I'm going to be scrambling to get started on time. Or I can focus on the fact that I'm here at Idea World and there's this beautiful group of people that are ready to practice yoga. And I can't wait to switch over to the other room and begin our experience together and just be thankful for that. So I, made a joke about it as I transferred stuff into the other room and, we had a good time. So at the end of the day, it's always a choice. So I just wanted to remind you today that you always have freedom to choose. You always have freedom to choose throughout the day what you're focusing on. So check in with yourself on a regular basis through the day. How am I feeling? What kind of mood am I in? Because your emotions will tell you everything. Your emotions are the vibrations you carry in your body, and they will tell you everything. So you can check in, like, how am I feeling? Am I feeling kind of punk, kind of frustrated? Am I a little irritable? Okay, well, if I'm feeling kind of irritable, what have I been thinking about? What have I been focusing on? What have I been turning my energy toward? Because I can almost guarantee you, if you start creating more awareness about it, you're going to see the links and have the realization that there's a cause and effect here. And in any moment throughout the day, if the path you've gone down is one that's not quite as positive, then you can make a conscious choice to look at something else, to shift your attention to something that is more uplifting, to look around and find things to appreciate and have some fun with it along the way. So for me, I kind of made it a bit of a game where I try to kind of catch myself if I'm shifting to something more negative and then shift back to something more positive. Just proving to myself over and over again that I can shift my mood, I can shift my focus, and because I can shift my focus, I can shift my mood. And it's really cool. It's actually quite fascinating how our brain works in that way. And the more you kind of catch yourself and train yourself to focus on something more positive, it actually fires new neural pathways. So it is brain training, literally. Fires new neural pathways so that it becomes more of a habit down the road. So that's what I have for you. I'm actually going to be hiking my way back over to the convention center so I can catch the opening ceremony, but I just didn't want to miss the opportunity to jump on with you for a few moments. So that's what I have for you today. It's just the invitation to remember throughout the day, you really do have the freedom to choose what you're going to focus on, how you're going to choose to see it. And if you catch yourself choosing to focus on the things that are bringing you down or creating angst within you, then you can stop and choose differently. And sometimes it's harder than others, I get it, but it is a practice. And it's something that everyone can do, and practice it till it becomes more of a habit and becomes just part of your daily routine. And I promise you, you will see benefit from it. So with that, I am gonna hike my way back over to the convention center and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I just sending you tons of love until our paths cross again. So thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Mwah! Have a good one. Much love.